everyone, Tony here, Psych'd on baseball cards. Have a video today with mostly all my 1965 tops that I'm collecting, and I have one slab for my PSA set registry that completes that registry, and then I have a living set card. And so let me turn this thing around and show you what I picked up. Okay, so here's my Topps 1980 PSA 8 Ted Simmons. So this is my last card for my Hall of Fame 1980 Topps set registry. Would have liked to have gotten this in a 9, but didn't want to pay the money that these are going for these days. And so I picked up the 8. All right, next up we have the 9th place Washington Senators. Slide this up here. There we go. And then we have Steve Hamilton. Steve Hamilton, I'm sorry. He was a left-handed pitcher, played 12 seasons for 6 different teams from 61 through 72. He was originally drafted in 1958 by the then Minnesota Lakers in the second round. He played for them in 58 and 59. And then in 61, he pitched for his first game for the Cleveland Indians. He pitched 1 inning for the New York Yankees in 61 World Series and 2 innings in the 64 World Series. And he also pitched in the NCLS for the Giants. Later in his career, he developed what was called the Foley floater, which was a very slow jump pitch. And he was the third person to use that pitch. He is one of 2 players to play in both the World Series and the NBA Finals. The other player being Gene Conley, who played for the Milwaukee Braves and the Boston Celtics. The only difference was Conley won both of his championships and Hamilton lost. Hamilton was a career 40-31 with a 3.09 ERA, 531 strikeouts. I don't think I need to show the backs. They don't really show up well. Next up we have Bill Stanwyk. Okay. Bill was a left-handed pitcher. He debuted in 64 out of spring training and played the entire season with 7 starts and the rest in relief. And in 65, he was back in the minors and stayed there for the next 3 years and then retired from baseball. He was a career 2 wins, 3 losses, 6.89 ERA, 55 strikeouts, 44 walks, and 65 in the 3rd innings. Next up, we have Frank Bowling. Second baseman, played 7 seasons with the Tigers and 6 with the Braves. In September of 65, he hit a grand slam off of Koufax. I don't think too many people have done that or did that. He was a career 254 hitter with 109 home runs and 556 RBIs, 4-time All-Star, and once won the Gold Glove. Next up, we have 64 RBI leaders with Robinson, Stewart, Mantle, and Killebrew. Stewart, he was born in San Francisco, and in first baseman, 10 seasons with several different teams. He led the Pirates 1960 World Series team with 23 home runs, and he also had 83 RBIs. He wasn't very good fielding infielder and was nicknamed Stone Fingers by Hank Aaron. He led the league in errors by first baseman in 8 of his 10 seasons, and 2 of those seasons he led the entire league, committing 29 errors. 29 errors and 24 errors in those 2 seasons. 29 is still a record by a Red Sox first baseman. He once picked up a hot dog wrapper blowing his way at first base and received a standing ovation from the crowd. Despite his poor fielding, he was a career .264 hitter with 228 home runs, 743 RBIs. He was a 2-time All-Star, AL RBI leader in '63 with the Red Sox, collecting 118 RBIs while hitting 42 home runs. Next up, we have 65 rookie stars. Jim Lomborg, Gary Moses, Mike Ryan, and Bill Schlesinger. Let's see, Lomborg was born in Santa Maria, California. That's, if I'm not mistaken, up by Joey Brings It. He graduated Stanford. He was nicknamed Gentleman Jim, but he was no gentleman on the mound. He was known to throw inside on hitters during his 15-year career. His best season was '67 for the Red Sox, winning 22 games with 246 strikeouts and the Cy Young Award. He was the first Red Sox pitcher to win the Cy Young. He won 2 games in the World Series that year, tossing a 1-hitter in Game 2 and a 3-hitter in Game 5. The Sox started him in Game 7 on 2 days rest, which was a disaster as he gave up 6 runs in 6 innings. That winter, he tore ligaments in his knee skiing, and the rest of his career was marred by injuries. After his career, he became a dentist and retired in 2017. He was a career .157, .137, 1 loss, .386 ERA with 1,475 strikeouts. In '67, he was an All-Star, the wins leader, the K's leader, won the Cy Young, and he is in the Red Sox Hall of Fame. Gary Moses played 20 seasons, mostly as a backup catcher with 7 different teams. His first hit was a homer. He was a career .251 hitter, 25 home runs, 109 RBI. He was an All-Star in 1970. After playing days, he was involved in the Major League Baseball Players Alumni Association, champion increased benefits for inactive players, for players that were no longer playing and were not vested long enough to receive pensions. And Mike Ryan played 11 seasons, not counting the minors, mostly as a backup catcher. While playing for the Phillies in 1970, he and Tim Carver both broke their hands in the same game against the Giants. He was a coach for the Phillies for 16 years after his playing career, and he was a .193 hitter, 28 home runs, and 161 RBI. Interesting. He passed away in the city that Mike Ryan was born in, which was somewhere in Massachusetts. Okay, Schlesinger, outfielder, only had 1 major league appearance, a pinch hit ground out to the pitcher. He spent the next 5 seasons in the minors and then retired. Nick Wilhite. Left-handed pitcher, 5 seasons, mostly with the Dodgers. He won 6, lost 12, was a .455 ERA, 118 strikeouts. He succumbed to alcohol and drug addiction after his career. He eventually reached out to former Dodger teammate pitcher Stan Williams for help. Received that help from the baseball assistance team, which assists former baseball players in their need. He entered a treatment center in 1989 and later became an addictions counselor. Dave DeBusschere. Okay, Dave, he was interesting. I thought that name sounded familiar, and then when I looked him up, I saw why. He was a right-handed pitcher, appeared in games for the White Sox in 82 and 83. A total of 27 games and 112 innings and a 3.11 ERA. A lot of you may remember him for his. He played for the Detroit Pistons and the New York Knicks, and had a pretty sweet Hall of Fame career. Look him up. So after he spent a year in the minors after the '63 season, he played basketball. Turned out to be the better career for him. And I'm going to pause this here because no, I don't need to pause this. I have some Hall of Famers here coming up. We have Jim Bunning, Frank Robinson, Al Kaline, and 3 World Series cards. Boyer's Grand Slam, 10th inning triumph. That was in Game 5. Cards take opener. Mantle's clutch homer in Game 3. And a living set card, AJ Puck. All right, so there you have it. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and hope you guys and ladies are all staying safe and taking care of yourselves. And got a whole bunch of cards in the mail today for my set. So I will break these down and do individual shorter videos with the bios. All right, so everybody take care. Until next time, peace out.